Hello. Um, I know that lots of people have made chips using cheese. So really, they just take some cheese and bake it on a baking sheet to create some chips. And I've just never done that before. I kind of haven't really had a reason to, I guess. But for the Super Bowl, I want to make some spinach artichoke dip, and I want like I could just eat it on its own or with some pork rinds. But I know my family's going to want some like chips to go with it. So I'm going to try making some chips for that. So I am following a recipe. I know that you can just like put some cheese on and bake it and it's fine, but I kind of just want to try the recipe. So I need a half cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. And then I need a half cup of shredded cheddar cheese. So this is going to be seasoned with some Everything Bagel seasoning. So that's kind of like the flavor profile that we're looking at. All right, so then a half cup of my shredded cheddar, if I can get it out. And then a third of a cup of my shredded Parmesan. And a teaspoon of Everything Bagel seasoning. And then you are literally just supposed to mix it together, which I'll just use my hand because that seems easier. And this was kind of like what I thought might be the problem. It's like the seasoning is all like going to the bottom. So I'm not really sure how this is going to work out. And then the recipe, I'm preheating my oven to 350 degrees. And I've got my parchment paper lined baking sheet here. And the recipe says to use about a teaspoon, which I don't know. I use about a teaspoon, then it's about that much. But I feel like I want bigger chips than that. So I think I want to use like 2 teaspoons. And I know that I want some like space between them. I'm trying to like I think the seasoning idea was not the best. I don't think that's kind of like the best way to do it. Like I think instead I would just put the seasoning like on top. I think that's probably a better way to do it. That's too much. Okay, I'm just gonna try these and see what happens. But I am going to, I don't think I can get it out of there. I think I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of the seasoning on top of each one. That one's already got some in it. So, all right, I'm going to do it that way and then I'll get it into my oven. It says that I need to bake it for like 6 to 11 minutes. But since my chips are bigger, I'm not sure how that's going to affect it. So I'll see how long it ends up taking. All right, so I did want these pretty dark, and they are, and like they're already like fairly firm, so I think that's what I want. I need to just leave them on my baking sheet for like 5 to 10 minutes to really kind of harden, and then I can transfer them. Ooh, yeah, these are nice and crisp. This is exactly what I wanted. The recipe says to put them in a container to cool completely, but I think putting them on my drying rack is going to be the best idea just so we don't build up any like condensation underneath them. Yeah, that had some pretty good crunch to it. I mean, it definitely tastes like cheese. So it's not like a real chip replacement, but it will be great to use, I think, as a dipper. I think it'll be really, really good. Now, to be fair, the recipe called for some amount of the everything bagel seasoning, like mixed in with the cheese, and then to sprinkle some more on top. But I don't quite understand the step of sprinkle of having it mixed in with the cheese because most of it was just at the bottom of my bowl anyway. So I would next time I will just sprinkle some on top. But I really do like the flavor. I like the mixture of the flavors of these cheeses along with the bagel seasoning. It's really good.